The valley used to be known as the Valley of Heart's Delight.
We've totally lost connection with the reality that all wealth and really all nurturing and goodness comes from the land.
In California's Santa Clara Valley, the connection between people and land is making a comeback.
If you see something that looks like grass, like that would grow in your lawn, pull it out.
The connection starts early with lifelong lessons in getting your hands dirty.
Whoa!
To eating right in the workplace. To using a city commons to feed families and grow community.
In Mexico, I had a ranch. So I come in United States right here, I continue. I like organic vegetable.
Maybe this is a moment where people can, beyond all of us involved in, quote, the movement, unquote, may need to rethink, you know, what is our relationship to the land?
San Jose is the nation's 10th largest city, more famous for surrounding Silicon Valley rather than the fruit of this valley that became its first economic mainstay.
When you can just walk a few miles or ride a few miles out of town and see nothing but orchards, prune orchards, apricot orchards, cherry orchards.
We worked the summer picking prunes for sure. We had to pick prunes because that paid for our school clothes for the year.
The land's many riches were known to indigenous ancestors of the Muwekma Ohlone people who have lived here for thousands of years.
People think that acorns were the most important food for California Indians. Although it was supplemental, there were a whole host of other kinds of forms of food, of fruits, of seeds.
Spanish settlers arrived in the 1700s and founded San Jose as a farming community. In the 1800s, preserving and canning fruit became a new industry, employing thousands of people attracted here by the gold rush. By the mid-1900s, San Jose became site of a well-known farm workers' rights protest led by Cesar Chavez. Today, that site is now the Mexican Heritage Center. By 1990, high-tech companies started up literally in garages and fueled booming growth. Silicon Valley began swallowing up the historic Valley of Heart's Delight.
Every time I hear the bulldozers knocking down another orchard, I was, wow, this is sad, you know. We had the fruit capital of the world.
Phil Cosentino runs the last orchard left in San Jose City.
Peaches are the most popular. When we don't have peaches, business dies.
Once 10 acres farmed by his father, his orchard today is only 2, carved up by a freeway's construction. But Phil keeps planting new trees, selling fruit from his front yard stand.
It's a fun thing to do, and people come by and say, wow, I've never tasted fruit like that before. You know, you can't buy that kind of a compliment. It just makes you, it's a feel-good thing.
In the face of rapid change, the people here remain resilient. The simple yearning for good taste, good food, and good lives has sparked a movement aimed at broader, more systemic issues. Good food is defined as fair, green, healthy, and affordable. It's grown from strong historical and agricultural roots to engage and motivate future generations.
Those of you who are down by the radishes, I want you to pinch into the soil and feel what you feel down there. And once you get your hands around the radish, pull straight up.
At Full Circle Farm, the focus is connecting kids to healthy foods by taking them to the source.
And then just pack the dirt around the stem.
The farm leases 11 acres from the public school system and plans to grow this startup garden curriculum to include all students.
I love it when kids are trying new things. Very often we get kids that are tasting a radish for the first time.
Yeah. This is the one I picked. Where do you put the, how is it? It's good. It's spicy though.
The lessons give kids a strong emotional connection to fresh foods.
I think it's really fun. Actually, you get to grow your own plants. You get to learn how it grows. like how it starts from the seed and how big it grows. The best thing is they let us, then we get to eat the fruits and vegetables, and they're so tasty.
When they're out here learning about ecology in a hands-on environment, they become empowered to become environmental leaders in their own communities.
Also leading the way are these volunteers for Village Harvest, who pick fruit that would otherwise go to waste.
It's just good to see the effort put through and involved to reach out to others and get the feeling of the way it was years ago.
We always said that as long as there was volunteers and homeowners and agencies that were interested in making this system work, that we would continue to do it, because we're simply just connecting a point of scarcity with a source of abundance, and it just seems to really make a huge difference in our society.
From this seed, similar programs have spread across the country. On this day, a 900-pound haul goes to the local food bank, which has been able to double its distribution of fresh produce. For those who want to grow their own food, San Jose boasts the largest community garden program in Northern California. All 18 sites have long waiting lists.
Where the sacks are, I have some carrots, some cilantro, and some beets.
Arturo Lopez first staked a plot here nearly 20 years ago.
One thing is that you meet a lot of people that you would never meet from the community because they have the same thing in common, you know.
People are looking into fresh, especially organic, healthy foods for for themselves, and it's now that people want to stay healthy and grow and live longer. It's pushing them to hey, you know, I would like a community garden.
There we go. That's great.
Even companies have their own gardens. At the headquarters of Google, chefs take their good food role to heart, serving up what's local, sustainable, and organic.
It doesn't mean that they're all three of those all the time. It doesn't mean that one's more important than the other. But we really look at the actual product and say, you know, what can we do to get the best product in? Does it mean buying organic from Idaho or buying local from next door? Well, we're going to buy local from next door in that case.
One of the things that most of my friends talk about is the food at Google. And so I can say, yeah, it's organic. Yeah, they source things locally. And so that definitely helps with, you know, evangelizing, I guess, the good food movement.
Like, put your arms out like that, that's how much room your broccoli or cauliflower needs.
When it comes to good food in California, they're working to move full circle.
I actually want to be a farmer. I want to save enough money to buy myself an old farm.
From kids to entire communities.
I asked my son, hey, when I die, you continue here for your family, you know.
I just planted these 2 weeks ago. See, they're starting to grow already.
The cycle keeps going and growing.
One of my colleagues down in Morgan Hill, he says, Phil, don't ever stop planting trees. When you stop planting trees, that's the sign of the end. Good philosophy.
Returning to their roots, the people of Santa Clara Valley are sowing seeds for a good future.
We need to find a way to be humble and face those realities and just be satisfied and happy with the fact that we can be on this land and we can let it sustain us as well as we can sustain it.